Hello, and welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that might seem small but is absolutely massive for your English fluency. Object pronouns. Words like me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. I know grammar can sometimes feel a bit dry, but trust me, by the end of this video you'll see just how crucial these little words are and how mastering them can completely transform your English conversations. We're going to unlock the secrets, fix common mistakes, and give you the ultimate toolkit to use them like a native speaker. Ready to level up your English? Let's get started. So, what exactly are object pronouns? Simply put, they are the words we use to replace the object of a sentence. The object is the person or thing that receives the action of the verb. For example, in the sentence Anna called John, John is the object, he's the one receiving the call. Now, if we want to replace John with a pronoun, we wouldn't say Anna called he. That sounds strange, right? We'd say Anna called him. Him is the object pronoun. It's all about making our sentences shorter, smoother, and less repetitive. Imagine saying, I gave the book to my sister, and then my sister read the book, and my sister loved the book. It's a mouthful. It's so much more natural to say, I gave the book to my sister, and then she read it, and she loved it. See how much better that flows? Let's break them down one by one. The object pronouns correspond to subject pronouns. I becomes me. You stays. You, he becomes him. She becomes her. It stays. It. We becomes us, and they becomes them. It's a pretty short list, which is great news. The tricky part isn't memorizing them, but knowing exactly when and where to use them. Object pronouns almost always come after a verb or after a preposition. Let's look at some examples after a verb. The teacher helps me. I see you. We miss him. They love her. He kicked it. She will visit. US. I can hear them. In each of these sentences, the pronoun is receiving the action of the verb. Now, let's talk about prepositions. Prepositions are words like to, for, with, from, and about. When a pronoun follows a preposition, it must be an object pronoun. This is a rule that even advanced learners sometimes forget. For example, you'd say, this gift is for you, or she is talking to me. A very common mistake is to use a subject pronoun here. People might say, she is talking to I, but that's incorrect. It should always be to me. Think about it this way. He came with we sounds off. The correct version is, he came with us. Or, the secret is between you and me, not between you and I. This between you and I mistake is incredibly common, even among native speakers. So if you can get this right, you're already ahead of the game. Just remember, after a preposition, it's object pronoun time. One of the biggest reasons to master object pronouns is clarity. They eliminate any confusion about who is doing what to whom. When you say, he told her the story, it's perfectly clear. He is the subject doing the telling, and her is the object receiving the story. Without these pronouns, our sentences would become tangled and repetitive. They are the secret ingredient to streamlined, efficient communication. Using them correctly shows that you have a solid grasp of English sentence structure, which is a huge confidence booster. When you're not second-guessing your grammar, you can focus on what you really want to say. This leads to more fluent, natural-sounding conversations. You'll stop pausing and correcting yourself, and your speech will just flow. Let's do a little practice to make this crystal clear. I'll give you a sentence with a noun as the object, and I want you to replace it with the correct object pronoun. Ready? First one. My boss praised my team. How would you change my team? You'd say, my boss praised us. Great. Next one. Sarah bought a new car. What about a new car? That's right. Sarah bought it. Okay. How about this one? I'm going to the movies with my friends. How do you replace my friends? You've got it. I'm going to the movies with them. And one more. A bit trickier. My mother gave the cookies to my brother and me. How would you rephrase that? My mother gave the cookies to us. See? You're already getting the hang of it. It's all about identifying the receiver of the action or the word following a preposition. Now, let us address another common point of confusion, using object pronouns in comparisons with than or as. You might hear people say, she is taller than me, or she is taller than I. Which one is correct? Well, traditionally, and in formal writing, she is taller than I is considered the correct form. This is because the sentence is technically a shortened version of she is taller than I am. However, in everyday spoken English, it is extremely common to hear and say, she is taller than me. In fact, saying taller than I can sometimes sound a bit too formal or even unnatural in a casual chat. So, my advice, if you're writing a formal essay or in a very professional setting, stick with the subject pronoun, like I. But in your daily conversations, using the object pronoun me is perfectly acceptable and will help you sound more natural. The same logic applies to as, for example, he's not as smart as her is common in speech, while he's not as smart as she is the formal, grammatically pure version. Language evolves, and this is a great example of that process in action. The key is to treat each pronoun as if it were the only object in the sentence. You wouldn't say, the manager wants to speak to she, so you don't say that in a compound object either. For example, if you're really not sure whether to say, my friend invited my wife and I to dinner, or my friend invited my wife and me to dinner, just take my wife out of the sentence. Would you say, my friend invited I to dinner? No, you'd say, my friend invited me to dinner. So, the correct sentence is, my friend invited my wife and me to dinner. This simple trick works every single time and will save you from a very common grammar trap. Mastering object pronouns is not just about passing a grammar test. It's about effective communication. These pronouns are everywhere in daily English. You hear them in songs, you see them in movies, and you use them in almost every conversation you have. Can you pass me the salt? I'll call you later. She told them a joke. They are fundamental building blocks of the language. When you understand how they work, you'll find that your listening comprehension improves dramatically. You'll be able to follow conversations more easily because you'll instantly recognize who is being talked about. It's like having a key that unlocks a deeper level of understanding. You'll stop translating in your head and start thinking in English, which is the ultimate goal for any language learner. Let's recap the essential toolkit. First, remember the list: me, you, him, her, it, us, them. Second, know the 2 golden rules for where to use them. After a verb that shows action being received, and after a preposition like for, with, or to. Third, use the remove the other person trick for compound objects to always get it right. And fourth, don't overstress about then I versus and me in casual conversation. Then me is widely accepted. If you can keep these 4 points in mind, you'll be using object pronouns flawlessly in no time. The best way to make this knowledge stick is to practice. Maybe write a short paragraph about your day, and then go back and see if you can replace some of the object nouns with pronouns. They work behind the scenes to make our language clear, fluent, and efficient. By taking the time to truly understand and practice them, you're not just learning a grammar rule. You're investing in your ability to connect with others, to express yourself confidently, and to understand the world through English more deeply. It's a small change that makes a huge difference. Don't let this simple area of grammar be a stumbling block for you any longer. You now have the complete guide, the toolkit, and the cheat sheet to make them your own. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope this guide has demystified object pronouns for you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more English learning tips. And I have a challenge for you. In the comments below, write a sentence using at least 1 object pronoun. I'd love to see your examples and answer any questions you might have. Keep practicing, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.